I don't know about you, but I ask a lot of questions. Like, if you smelt it, have you in fact dealt it? And how do they actually get the pop in these pop rocks? Can you hear that? Huh. But the best place to start when trying to understand the world around us and how it works is with the scientific method. Science is a way to find answers to questions about the world around us, and scientists are the people who are finding the clues and evidence to answer those questions. Scientists find these clues or evidence by conducting experiments and making observations. The process used by scientists to investigate and research a question is called scientific inquiry. This process of scientific inquiry has been formalized with the scientific method. 7 steps that lead us from our initial observation and question to the eventual sharing of scientific findings with the greater scientific community of peers. Let's learn more by working through the scientific method together to figure out if plants prefer different colors of light. I've noticed that plants love light and will move and grow to face toward the light. This is called positive phototropism. This is knowledge I already have because I am obsessed with the plant friends. But something I don't already know is if they have a favorite color. Mine is aquamarine. A scientific inquiry begins with a question. So our question will be, do plants grow more under some colors of light than others? After a question has been identified, the next step is to collect all of the possible information that relates to that investigation by doing background research. Here is the information that I have found that will help us with our investigation. Bean or pea seeds germinate the fastest, so those will be the ones we will use. Seeds require moisture to germinate and grow, so I will be watering our plants the exact same amount every day of the experiment. Visible light contains a spectrum of colors, so we will use full spectrum light or white light, red light at the beginning of the spectrum, green light, the middle of the spectrum, and violet light, the very end. Now we need to make a prediction that can be tested. This is called a hypothesis. A hypothesis can be written in an if-then format and should include both an independent and dependent variable. Our hypothesis is that if a bean plant is only exposed to red light, then it will outgrow the other bean plants exposed to any other single color of light. Now we test our hypothesis. It's important that our test or experiment can be repeated. We ensure this by using very specific conditions. It is also very important that you include a control in the experiment. The control will be our plant with the white light or full spectrum light. There is a link to this exact experiment and the sciencey explanation down there in the description so you can try this at home. To begin our experiment, we have 4 seedlings inside their box coverings. Each covering has a hole cut out with a different color of cellophane layered on top. This will only allow that color of light to pass through to the plant. After a week of sitting here under these grow lights, here are our results. And if you want to know how to construct these boxes, you can check out this video. We can compare the results to our prediction or hypothesis. First, we have to make some observations. Some observations are quantitative, made in the form of measurements, things like length, distance, volume, or temperature, while others are qualitative, based on the qualities of something, like the color, texture, or smell. So let's make our observations. Some will be qualitative and others quantitative. My first observation was that each plant demonstrated positive phototropism, regardless of the color of light provided. Let's take a closer look. Get above soil height measurements. Count the leaves of each plant and observe what is happening under the soil. Measure total height and root length, and take a good look at the root structure of each plant. Our findings of the scientific inquiry are referred to as conclusions. Our hypothesis was that if a bean plant is only exposed to red light, Then it will outgrow the other bean plants exposed to any other single color light. Our results do not support the hypothesis. The plant under the violet light had the greatest overall height and the most leaves. It's important to share your results with peers. That way you can contribute to the collective scientific discovery. It's also important to remember that an experiment isn't a failure if it doesn't work out as predicted. Knowing what is false is an important part of knowing what is true. Also, you can now use these conclusions to make new hypotheses. You may have noticed that the scientific method is a cycle, or maybe more like a bowl of spaghetti, with new ideas and discoveries leading off in directions you didn't even consider. After making many observations, scientists develop ideas to explain how and why the same results appear. Scientific ideas start out as predictions, and evidence may or may not support them. After a hypothesis has been confirmed through many tests and experiments, scientists can develop a theory. A theory is a proposed explanation that has been extensively tested and based on many observations. Scientific law, like theory, is based on many observations. A law is a rule that describes how something in nature behaves, but not necessarily why it behaves that way. For example, the law of conservation of mass states that matter cannot be created or destroyed. This law applies to everything, including life. Matter takes different forms as it passes through the atmosphere, plants, animals, the soil, but the total amount of matter always stays the same. Here is a good way to remember. A law describes what happens under certain conditions, and a theory is an explanation of why something happens based on years of testing and observation. So the next time you're curious about something, bust out the scientific method and test away. And if you want to learn more science, you can check out this video next. Can you hear that? It's crazy. How did it happen? My mouth is still popping.